Have you ever noticed how one small misstep can suddenly change everything? In old age, a simple fall can lead to a broken hip, weeks in the hospital, or even the loss of independence. It's not dramatic, it's the quiet truth many seniors live with every single day. But what if there were specific ways to walk that could drastically reduce your chances of falling, no matter your age or strength? This video is all about that. We're going to talk out 6 walking habits backed by physical therapists and aging experts that are quietly helping thousands of older adults stay upright, mobile, and independent. These aren't gimmicks. These are practical, tested adjustments anyone can do, starting today. If you're between 60 and 85, or if someone you love is in that range, you'll want to hear every one of these. By the end, you'll not only know what the tricks are, but you'll understand why they work and how they help protect the parts of your body most vulnerable to falls. Maybe, just maybe, you'll stop feeling like your balance or gait is something you have to accept getting worse over time. Ready to feel safer with every step you take? Let's begin. Step 1. Head position awareness. Most people don't realize that your head is like the steering wheel for your whole body. Wherever it points, your posture and balance tend to follow. That's why one of the biggest mistakes older adults make when walking is looking down too often or too far. It seems harmless, maybe even cautious, but it can actually increase your risk of falling. Here's why. When you tilt your head downward for long periods, especially during a walk, your spine begins to round, your shoulders collapse forward, and your center of gravity shifts. This puts more pressure on your knees and hips and reduces your visual awareness of what's ahead. You're more likely to shuffle, trip, or miss an obstacle completely. The body gets out of alignment, and that's when falls sneak in. Now, I'm not saying don't look down at all. Of course, you should be aware of your surroundings, but there's a trick that experienced walkers and therapists recommend: the 20-80 rule. Keep your eyes forward 80% of the time, looking about 10 to 15 feet ahead, and glance downward the remaining 20%. This keeps your posture upright, your balance sharper, and gives you time to respond to hazards. Ellen, a 76-year-old retired librarian from Arizona, used to feel wobbly every time she walked down her driveway. Her son noticed she was always looking down at her feet, so he brought it up with her physical therapist. The therapist taught her to lift her chin slightly and focus ahead instead of below. Within 2 weeks, Ellen said her walks felt smoother, and the stiffness in her neck and shoulders even started to ease. She hadn't realized how much tension came from simply where she was looking. This adjustment is small but powerful, because it's not just about seeing, it's about how your body stacks itself around your vision. When the head is aligned, your spine follows, your core activates, and your whole walking frame becomes more stable. That's the goal, not just avoiding a fall, but walking in a way that supports your entire body with every step. If you've ever felt unsure while walking, or find yourself watching the ground more than what's ahead, take this seriously. Adjust your head, let your gaze lead you, not your feet. Sometimes the most powerful changes start with something as simple as where we look. Step 2. Arm swing rhythm. One of the most underrated tools for stability while walking isn't in your legs, it's in your arms. When you stop using your arms or let them dangle stiffly by your sides, you're quietly removing one of the body's built-in balance stabilizers. As we age, we need every bit of balance support we can get. Think of arm swing as your body's natural counterweight system. When your right leg steps forward, your left arm swings forward, and vice versa. This crossing motion helps keep your center of gravity balanced with each stride. It's not just about rhythm, it's about redistributing momentum, so you don't feel like you're tipping to one side. But here's the issue. Many older adults begin to restrict their arm swing without even noticing it. Sometimes it's from arthritis in the shoulders. Other times it's because they're carrying something in one hand all the time, but the most common reason is a subconscious fear of falling. We get stiff, we clench, and that stiffness throws everything off. Take Joseph, for instance. Since he's 81 and lives alone in a small town in Oregon, he told me he started using a cane after a minor fall last year, but instead of improving, his balance seemed to get worse. When I asked him how he was walking, he admitted his right arm wasn't moving anymore, it just clutched the cane. His therapist showed him how to alternate cane use with intentional arm swing exercises. That alone made a massive difference. He says he hasn't stumbled once since making that change. So, what's the fix for you? Simple arm awareness. Practice swinging your arms slightly as you walk. Elbows relaxed, hands unclenched. You don't need to exaggerate the movement like a speed walker, but you do want a gentle, natural rhythm. Some folks even count their steps with their arm swings to make sure the motion is symmetrical on both sides. And if one arm doesn't move well due to a past injury or stiffness, do what you can with the other side. Even a single active arm helps anchor your momentum better than none. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Step 3. Heel-to-toe landing. When it comes to safe walking, the way your foot lands can be the difference between staying upright or suddenly going down. And believe it or not, many older adults shift into a flat-footed or toe-first pattern that quietly erodes their stability over time. Let me explain what's actually supposed to happen. A proper walking step begins with your heel making contact first, then rolling through the foot to the ball and toes, which push you into your next step. This heel-to-toe motion does more than just look smooth. It absorbs shock, keeps your stride aligned, and prevents your toes from catching on the ground. But here's what starts happening with age. Joint stiffness, especially in the ankles or hips, makes people hesitant to land on their heels. Fear of pain or falling causes us to shuffle instead. And shuffling, while it feels safer, is ironically one of the biggest contributors to trips, toe stubs, and awkward missteps. Take Doris, 76, who lives with her daughter in Michigan. She had fallen twice in the kitchen, both times tripping over nothing. When her granddaughter asked her to walk across the room for a video call with her doctor, they realized she was walking almost entirely flat-footed. After a few weeks of consciously practicing heel-first walking while holding onto a counter, her stride not only improved, but she said her knees even started feeling better. Why? Because her muscles were engaging the way they were meant to. When you use your heel first, your calf muscles activate, your hips shift properly, and your whole leg works in sequence like a well-oiled machine. So, here's a tip. When you walk, try focusing on feeling your heel touch first. It doesn't have to be exaggerated, just natural and soft. Some folks place a small towel on the floor and walk barefoot across it slowly, feeling that heel-to-toe roll with each step. It trains your nervous system to fire in the right order again. And don't worry if it feels strange at first. Your body is relearning something it already knew for decades. It just needs a reminder. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. And once that pattern returns, your risk of falling drops significantly, without you even realizing why. Step 4. The power of small steps. One of the most underestimated tricks for preventing falls is this. Take shorter steps. It might sound too simple to matter, but the size of your step plays a huge role in how balanced you stay while walking. Longer strides might feel more natural because that's how many of us used to walk in our younger years, but after a certain age, especially past 70, those longer steps become risky without us even realizing it. When you reach too far with your front foot, your center of gravity shifts too far behind you. That puts stress on your knees, throws off your hip alignment, and actually slows your reaction time if something goes wrong, like a loose rug, an uneven sidewalk, or a sudden dizzy spell. On the flip side, shorter steps help keep your weight directly over your feet. That gives you better control, quicker reactions, and a firmer connection to the ground. It also keeps your upper body steadier, which your inner ear and balance system love. Think about how a toddler walks when they're learning. Tiny steps, arms out, always close to the ground. They're building stability before speed, and as we age, we need to borrow that same wisdom, stability first, then motion. Larry, a 79-year-old widower from Florida, had developed a habit of reaching with his steps because he felt it would get him to his destination faster, but he kept stumbling, even in familiar places like his front porch. After a physical therapist showed him how to shorten his steps and slightly increase his cadence, something clicked. He hasn't fallen since, and he even says he gets less tired now because his muscles don't have to work as hard to correct imbalance. Here's a little trick. Walk while counting your steps per 10 seconds on a flat surface. Then try again using slightly shorter steps and see if your count goes up just a little. That means you're taking quicker, smaller steps, which is exactly what you want. If you're using a cane or walker, the same principle applies. Move the aid just slightly ahead of your foot, not way out in front. Keep your movements compact and close. Your body will thank you. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Step 5. Core strength is balance strength. Another trick most seniors overlook, keeping your core muscles strong, even just a little, can change the way you walk completely. When people think of fall prevention, they usually think of legs, calves, knees, ankles, but the truth is, your balance starts from the center of your body. Your core includes your abdominal muscles, lower back, and even your hips. These muscles work together to keep your spine upright and your body stable as you move. If your core is weak, everything else overcompensates. Your legs tense up, your posture slouches, and your gait becomes unstable. That's when trips and wobbles start to sneak in. Now here's the good news. You don't need to do sit-ups or go to the gym to build a stronger core. There are simpler, gentler ways that work especially well for seniors. Try this. While standing near a countertop or sturdy chair, gently lift one foot just a couple of inches off the floor. Hold for 5 seconds, then switch. Do this a few times a day. This tiny action wakes up your core muscles and tells your brain, we're working on balance now. You can also tighten your stomach muscles slightly while brushing your teeth or walking down the hall. Just pulling in your belly button toward your spine for a few seconds activates that entire region. No one sees you doing it, but your body gets stronger with each effort. Mary, an 82-year-old who used to fall regularly in her garden, added these little habits into her day. She now says her body feels glued to the ground in the best way possible. That invisible sense of steadiness comes from the core. So, don't think of core strength as something reserved for younger folks or athletes. Think of it as your secret walking weapon. A strong center gives you balance, and balance gives you freedom. Step 6. Awareness of floor patterns and transitions. Many older adults who fall didn't trip over something big. They trip because their brain wasn't fully registering a small change in the floor beneath them. Let me explain. As we age, our depth perception and reaction speed slow down just a little. If the color of the flooring changes, or if the lighting shifts suddenly, like going from a brightly lit room to a darker hallway, our brain takes longer to adjust. That brief moment of hesitation or misjudgment is enough to cause a stumble. Even something as innocent as walking from carpet to tile can become risky. Sensation underfoot changes, the grip changes, the sound even changes, and if your brain isn't alert, your step can falter without you realizing it. So here's the trick. When walking through your home or any building, start mentally labeling floor changes before you step onto them. For example, as you approach a rug or tile edge, quietly say to yourself, rug or step up. It brings your focus back to your body and surroundings, like flipping a switch that turns on your awareness. It may sound silly, but this simple habit saved a man named Alan, 78, from a nasty fall in his kitchen. He started saying tile every time he walked into the room, and one day when the floor was damp, that one word made him slow down just enough to avoid slipping. Also, be wary of high-gloss floors. They might look clean, but reflections can mess with depth perception, especially under overhead lighting. If your brain sees glare, your step may become unsure, even if the floor is actually flat. And for those who wear bifocals, remember that slight shift in your lens can also warp how you see the ground. Always take an extra second when walking down stairs or curbs. That pause can save you weeks of recovery. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Final thoughts. One of the hardest things about getting older isn't just the physical changes, it's the fear that comes with them. The fear of falling, the fear of not being able to get back up. But here's something I want you to take with you today. You have far more power than you realize. Each of these 6 walking habits we talked about, every single one, is something you can start doing today, not next month, not after you buy some fancy product, but right now, with your own 2 feet and a little awareness. The truth is, when you make small changes like these, you don't just protect your body, you restore a piece of your confidence. That confidence makes you more independent. And independence, my friend, is one of the greatest gifts in our later years. So please don't let the fear of falling steal your peace of mind. You can walk with strength, you can stay upright, you can be that example for someone else who's been feeling unsure, unsteady, or stuck at home. Now I'd love to ask, did any of these tips surprise you? Have you tried one of them before? Or is there one you're curious to try tomorrow? Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.